I mean, I guess it doesn't matter that we're streaming in HD since the console output is not HD.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, we're live again. It still looks like dick.
Still exactly the same?
Yeah, it's still... I don't really understand the nature of the problem, honestly. It looks very strange. It's just like jittering randomly as it goes. Do you see... Do you...
I saw it before, so if it's doing the same thing, then yeah, I don't get it.
But the Elgato looks perfectly fine. Like the footage that we have on our computer screen.
How odd. I guess we're fucked.
Oh, God.
Man, remember Phazon? I remember Phazon.
Well, the stream is laggy as shit, and I don't know why. But, some people are saying, yay, it works now. I mean, yeah, it looks... Sometimes it looks better, sometimes it looks worse. Is our audio fine? That's what I really want to know. As long as the audio is fine, I don't even really care.
Did I just shoot a missile? Wasn't paying attention to the prompt, so I'm not exactly sure what it wants me to do here. Oh god, I sound like such a faggot.
Our audio is fine.
Unfortunately.
Weirdly, somehow me changing the settings moved our foot, like the feed of us into like this weird left corner area, and it says Elgato Gaming over us now. I don't know how that happened.
God, we should just switch to OBS. This program sucks.
Yeah, I don't know why we're still using the Game Capture HD program. I mean, we could just go dark for a minute and switch if you want, but
we would have to reset everything up.
We'd also have to install
OBS
on the other thing. Also, how the fuck have we been... It says we've been streaming for 25 minutes already. That's not even possible.
Is it? It couldn't have been that long.
No, there's no way. Maybe that's just how long Game Capture HD has been open for.
I think that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Is it still being a bitch?
I mean, for me, it's just like loading constantly. Like it's outright going down all the time.
It's weird. Does the power line adapter say we have a green connection? Like maybe our bandwidth is butts.
No, power line is fine.
Alright. It's all that Bowsette, dude. Nintendo's just like, none of our shit anymore until we get this figured out.
I know it looks like shit for you guys as well, but are you guys having an issue where it's just constantly like cutting out for you? Because that's happening for me. Yeah, okay. These guys aren't having stream problems. I'm having it constantly cut out on me. So I'm thinking this is an internet, like it's maybe
just your internet sucking dick.
Yeah, I think it might just be my internet sucking dick.
Okay, well, I don't care if you suffer.
But then why would the audio be fine and not the video?
You know,
these are the mysteries of life. Well, everybody. Weird. Hopefully you don't care that much about... I mean, honestly, it looks bad, but it's you can tell what's happening.
To be fair, it looks bad to us too because it's the fucking Wii.
Yeah. So anyway, Metroid Prime, good game.
Indeed.
Apologies that the goodness of it may not be communicated well through the stuttering, glitch core fucking video that you're all watching.
It's an aesthetic choice.
Yeah.
Definitely on purpose.
The sound and footage is poor? What's wrong with the sound exactly? The audio quality is pretty poor, TBH. The audio isn't fine. Listenable but sounds shitty. Okay, well, let me listen to it.
I mean, it just was fine.
Hopefully, you don't kill. It looks bad, but... Oh, God.
It was not that 2 seconds ago.
So anyway, Metroid Prime, good game. Apologies. Is that just because we have it turned up so high on the Elgato?
Maybe. It was fine before, though.
Okay. Let's see what the audio sounds like now.
It's an aesthetic choice. Yeah. We're going to have to wait a while.
It's like you sound fine and I sound terrible.
My shitty voice is finally doing something good.
I need to reload because it's so far behind for me because it keeps cutting out. Every I Am Game stream is just fucking technical difficulties of a completely new nature.
We are games, but we are not streams.
No, definitely not. Alright, yeah, it was just a problem of I guess when you turn up that dial, all it does is just increase the gain, like, horribly. But it doesn't show that it's doing that, like...
You don't clip into the red on that.
No. The sound is amazing. Everyone's like, what the fuck? Why is the sound good now? Well... We don't know. All we know is that Game Capture HD is the shittest program in the goddamn world.
Why would you do that to me? Kicked me out of the room.
I'm gonna
Big O. It's showtime. Remember the Big O?
Yes. Someone was just asking me on Twitter today about why I dropped the Big O and whether they should watch it. And I was like, don't you, like, he said something to the effect of like, hey, I saw you drop the Big O pretty far in. Should I watch it or save myself 9 hours? And I'm just thinking like, well, obviously I dropped it. So you already have your answer.
Well, I guess the question could be phrased as, did you drop it because it was terrible or just not to your taste and you could see other people?
What the fuck is the difference? Like, I can't tell you what the difference is.
I think
like,
you can. There are definitely games I've played where, like Dark Souls, like, this game sucks for me, but I definitely get why other people like it
I would not recommend
versus Mass Effect Andromeda, where I'm just like, no one should play this game.
I would not recommend people anything I didn't like unless I knew their taste. Like, it's one thing if I knew who this guy was and I thought, yeah, you would like the Big O, but like, as far as I know, he has the same taste I do. So no, don't watch the Big O. Like, you know, like, there's no answer that's going to be right for everybody.
You just got to answer with another question and be like, I don't know, man. What's your taste and shit?
The fact that I dropped it means that there is a precedent of people not enjoying it. So it's like, do you generally feel the same way I do about shows or not? You know?
Well, I guess you should have just said that. Like, if you agree with my taste on everything else,
I shouldn't have to say that. It should be fucking obvious. God damn it.
Okay. Have people ever lived up to your standards ever?
You live up to my standards.
Well,
fucking Mark over there lives up to my standards.
May does too, but she's not here right now.
Yeah. Thoughts on Top Onerai 3 being announced? Fucking terrible. I mean, I don't think they're actually gonna get it made, but whoa. Can you go show that to the fucking camera? I don't know if that'll get us kicked off Twitch.
But, I don't know what it is, but it's...
She showed me art of, like... It's art made of, like, boiled pasta of fucking Kirino from Oraimo getting fucked in the pussy.
Oh. Well, we're no longer on Twitch.
There you go.
And ban.
I'll retweet it.
I fucking crushed that tutorial boss. Without even trying. I was having a conversation while I killed that fucking thing.
Hell yeah.
It's almost like I'm games.
Thoughts on Gynax being renamed to Gyna? I heard it's not that they're being renamed, just that they're like, it's like two separate studios.
Thoughts on Dunkin' changing their name to Dunkin'?
Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts is becoming just Dunkin', which just makes sense to me because they mostly sell coffee. And like their donuts are terrible. I wouldn't even be surprised if they just phased out the donuts.
I don't think they will.
They'll just become a fast food place that is known for their coffee.
I mean, that I can see happening. They already have like chicken there now.
Dude, all of their food is fucking disgusting. Don't eat anything at Dunkin' Donuts. It's fucking gross.
Kind of agree.
You know they just make it all in the donut oil?
Yeah, I mean,
That's why it all tastes the same. Like, everything on their menu tastes exactly the same. It all has this weird, fucking, oily, gross taste.
Doesn't surprise me. Get out of here, fucker.
I really hate Dunkin' Donuts.
I mean, I like Honeydew, which is a regional place here. They're pretty good.
I don't think there's any around us.
There are none in this area that I've found so far.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because their donuts are fucking sick. And their coffee's better, and they're just generally better.
It's Landona May. Tell May and Tom I said hi. May's not here. Only Mark is here. But I'll tell Tom.
Hey.
Gintama ended in Shonen Jump, but it's continuing in Jump Giga for a short time. That explains... Yeah, so, someone, I think it might have been Nexus, said on Twitter, like, I said something, like, proudly to Digi about Gintama, and now I regret it. Because, like, I said in a video recently that, like, I won't believe that Gintama is actually ending until it is literally no longer in the magazine. And then a bunch of people messaged me, like, oh, they're actually ending it in, like, 5 more chapters. And, like, a bunch of people said that, and I didn't respond to anybody, but I was still thinking, like, I don't believe it's over. Like, I literally won't believe it until it ends syndication. And sure enough, yes, it's ending in Jump, but they're just moving it to another magazine. That's fucking hilarious.
I thought the shape was a dildo, but it's just XOXO.
You guys should try playing Metroid Other M. I think Tom would like it, and a video about Other M could get a lot of attention. Why do you think Tom would like Other M?
Because it's like an action game. I've thought for a while that I'd probably enjoy Other M more than most people do as well.
You can't skip the cutscenes. And the cutscenes are fucking awful.
I'm curious to see if the gameplay can carry it for me.
I mean,
all I know is that you move with the D-pad, so it's a strike against it right off the bat.
It fucking controls like ass, dude. The game is terrible.
It's Team Ninja, though, right?
Yeah, but it's for the fucking Wii. And you play it with a fucking Wiimote.
I know.
So, you know...
I feel like I'd like it more than other people, though.
I want to
Even
tell
that
you,
means a 6 instead of a 4.
My brother Victor, who has not played any fucking Metroid games, like he hasn't played any of the classics. He's played Metroid Prime, never to completion. Not generally a huge Metroid fan. He played Other M, and he was like, "This game fucking sucks," and he played all the way through it. And he had, because that's the thing, everyone else who complains about Metroid complains about it being a bad Metroid game. Victor was just like, this game sucks, you know? Because it controls like ass, and it's just the environments are boring, and...
Why would you do that?
Like, it's not a good game. And so we tried to play it on Digibros once, and like... When we realized that the cutscenes were unskippable and that, like, there's so many fucking scripted sequences that are so obnoxious, and we were just like, we can't do it. Are you satisfied with the growth of the IM Games YouTube channel? You reached 5K subs. Congrats. It's going pretty well so far.
I'm not satisfied. We're not at 1 million yet. You fucking terrible people.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we intend for it to get a lot bigger, but, I mean, there's really no way to know, like, what you should be expecting with something like this, but, you know, it's done well enough so far that I feel good about it. The question is, Because, like, we were at, like, 2K subs, and then I made my video where I advertised it, and it basically doubled the sub count and the view count of the videos. So it's like, how much of this is, like, growth that will continue, and how much of it is, like, that ad, you know? Like, if we make more videos, are they gonna reach more than that 5,000 person audience? Will people share it? Will people, you know, will any of the will it catch on in the algorithms or whatever? Will we make a video that can be a big success? These are the questions that matter.
It's up to you, fair viewer.
And
Suck
we're
our dick.
We're also like, we're trying to grow this channel at like a very rapid clip, because it's the kind of thing where it's like, you know, for it to take time out of our regular everyday lives, it needs to become profitable rapidly. But it's you know, it's getting close to monetization already. So
yeah, I can't wait to make those 17 cents.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be fucking sick. Well, I mean, we've got what? We've got like 10,000 views on the channel so far. So that'd be like $10 if we had monetization.
I guess.
You know.
I guess that's almost cool.
It's not just a bad Metroid game, it's a garbage action game too. You literally button mash the D-pad to become immortal and the game aims for you. So there you go. That's what this guy says.
I believe everybody, but I'm one of those people like, I just want to find out for myself.
I've only played Prime 3 on the Wii and never really had a problem with the controls, but I hated the pacing of the game. The constant need to scan shit was annoying as fuck. I didn't have the self-control to stop myself from scanning every random shit as a kid. I mean, you can scan literally everything in all the Metroid Prime
I just scanned like a fuck ton of stuff, even though I didn't read it, just because it makes your percentage higher, and that's the only reason I do it. The first time, though, I've read through everything, and it was pretty cool.
Prime 3 is known to have pacing issues.
Prime 3 is way different than Prime 1 and 2 from what little I played so far. It's more arcadey.
And it's got like NPCs and shit.
Yeah, there's other hunters. There's like the whole...
It's so bizarre.
Dude, it's so weird. The beginning takes place on a Federation ship, and you talk to like crew, and you get a mission from a dude.
That is so fucking weird, man.
It was weird, but I kind of dug it, just because like this is this is what they've talked about the Federation forever, but like, oh, I'm actually seeing it. This is kind of cool.
Digi, thanks for the reco. I'm coming with a Hisone Tomaso-tan analysis. Would you watch? I mean, if it's interesting.
Sometimes you say things and I assume they're words, but...
This guy is saying he's going to analyze an anime, and he's asking if
I got that part through context clues.
And the answer is maybe, if it's
Why are you guys such weebs? You can't just use the English translated name.
I don't think this one has an English translated name yet.
I'm assuming those words do translate into something.
I mean, Hisone is a name, and Masotan is a name, and To means and. So it's Hisone and Masotan.
I mean, I would have understood those were names if you said it that way.
I guess so.
All right, and this is the part of this is when Metroid Prime gets super fucking cool, because it's just like, there you go, figure it out.
Yeah, this game I distinctly remember in an X-Play episode where they were ranking the top 10 best looking video games of all time. And Metroid Prime was number 1.
Well, that's a list that's not going to age well.
No, obviously not. But at the time, Metroid Prime was number 1. And the game... I mean, obviously the graphics are dated, but the fucking art design in this game is absolutely phenomenal.
It really
like,
is.
This game is living proof that it does not matter about fidelity. It matters
Everything
about art
on
design.
in first party from the GameCube proved that. This, Mario Sunshine, and Wind Waker all look amazing today.
That's the thing, like, I think that, like, art design is the only thing that fucking matters.
Agreed.
Like, it really is. Graphical fidelity is completely fucking irrelevant, because what puts you in awe is mastery.
I really wish what we could do is, like, if all these fucking companies would stop putting so much effort on, like, oh, we have to make the graphics, like, the poly count super fucking high. Just focus on the art direction. You want to know why? Because art direction's cheaper, so you can afford to take more risks with your games because you don't have to make so much money.
On the one hand, we can say that, but on the other hand, you also have to consider that a lot of studios just don't have a talented art director on staff.
I think it's cheaper to hire an art director than it is to
That's
spend billions of dollars getting facial capture information and scan like real life actors and paying them money.
Will they be able to find an art director who wants to work on their game, though?
It's Japan. Everybody draws.
Everybody
draws and does karate. That's what the world's talking about Japan.
That's fair.
I am games and also
I like how you just said like it's Japan. Like this doesn't apply to American developers.
No. American
developers matters if you're Japanese.
American developers will never understand art direction. It's not a cultural thing.
I think the Japanese developers are already doing fine in this regard. Like Japanese games usually don't have amazing fidelity because their country can't afford to make.
I'm talking to Square Enix right now.
All right. I mean, Square Enix usually can combine the two, though. Like, Square Enix usually has pretty fucking solid art direction in spite of whatever.
Someone needs to talk to the guy who designed the costumes for Final Fantasy 15.
Alright. I'll give you that. I think that guy was probably the, fucking told to make them, like, a fashion line.
But they were all just wearing black.
Yeah, but, like... I think the mentality they went with was like they will look like a fucking Korean boy band, Like, because that's what they look like. They look like a Korean boy band. Huh? Boys to Toys. It's BTS. What did you say earlier? In the store. BTS was on the cover of a magazine at the Roche Bros, and
Roche Bros needs to change their name to Roche. They need to get with the times.
Change their name to Smash Bros.
Yeah. All right. This all feels familiar. I played this recently enough to be like, yeah, I remember this game. As opposed to being like, what the fuck am I doing?
Can you ask May if we are scrapping our Evangelion video? I'm curious if we're looking forward to working with her. Yeah, I don't think she's gonna do it. She's not really that interested in like any of the YouTube content she was working on. So
we don't want to speak for May though. So next time we see her, we'll ask.
Yeah, if she ever happens to be around, as opposed to our good buddy Mark, who is always around when we do these live streams. I'm actually really impressed with your like instinctive fucking scanning that you've been doing. Like, I did not scan much of anything when I was.
Do you want to know why the scanning? All you got to do is you got to hold this. You hold the minus button. You hit up, and then you're in scanning mode. So it's like really easy to just do it quickly and then tap out of it and keep going.
I mean, in the original, all you had to do was press up on the D-pad. And
yeah, but you had to take your hand off the movement to hit up. With this, like you don't have to move your hands at all. It's just like
press
right there.
Press the one button. Oh, okay, never mind. You activated the cutscene.
I did it. I'm here.
Whoa! Look at this place. I mean, I will say that like looking at this game right now, it like art. As beautiful as the art direction is, it really is like a wow, this looks so much less fucking graphically fidelity than I remember. Because like when I saw this game for the first time, it was literally the most advanced graphics I had ever fucking seen, you know? Like this looked real to me as a kid. This looked like actual real life. Dude, anything from that early, like, fucking press 1. Jesus Christ, dude, get that thing off the fucking screen. Thank you. Like, fucking... I distinctly remember in Nintendo Power when the GameCube was coming out and they were talking about... They were, like, hyping Smash Melee. And they fucking wouldn't shut up about the detail on Mario's overalls.
I remember that.
And, like, it was... That was, to me, indistinguishable from reality. Just the fact that there were textures that had... detail, because like I grew up on N64, you know, where there was no textures at all. It was just like flat colored fucking. Some games had textures, but I didn't play those ones, and I didn't have a PS1, so I hadn't seen that shit. I hadn't seen Final Fantasy, you know. So I looked at this shit and I was like, oh my god, it's literally real! And now I'm looking at it and I'm like, I can see all the bump mapping, you know?
This is like Sonic Adventure Battle.
Sonic Adventure Battle also looked beautiful.
It did.
The same generation.
Well, it's technically the end of the Dreamcast, and it got ported, but...
And Sonic Adventure 2 would have been, like, probably not very long before this game. This game came out, what, 2002?
Yeah, Sonic Adventure 2 was 2001, I believe, so it was a year before. I remember distinctly having a discussion on the GameSpot forum with some guy when the Xbox 360 was announced. And he distinctly said, like, I don't understand how graphics are going to get any more realistic than this. And I think about him all the time. And I'm like... and straight up, I wonder, A, does he feel really retarded? Does he ever think about this conversation he had with me and think, wow, I was retarded? Or is he just like, I still can't tell the difference. It all looks the same to me. We peaked at Halo 2.
I mean, my dad bought a 70-inch HD TV, and do you remember... I don't think that there are standard def channels anymore. Like, I think that now everything just defaults to HD.
We had standard def for a while.
But is that still a thing?
Yeah, you can still get it.
I mean, like...
You gotta support the old people homes.
Like, if I go to channel 10, will it be HD or standard?
I think it's still standard def. But I mean, I haven't watched cable in God knows how long, so...
On our remote, like, you could go to just the regular channel, and it would be the standard def channel. And then there's a button you could press on the remote that would just take you to the HD version of that channel. But my dad would just instinctively go to the regular one and just watch that. And the thing is, it's not just that it looks like ass on his giant TV, but literally there'd be like... not just that. Literally there'd be like a white like bar at the top of like a thing, like a scan line of sorts. I don't know how to describe it. Like the pixels are not activated or something, or the
image just isn't aligned, so there's empty white space at the top.
Yes, exactly that, and it fucking like I would take one look at it and want to throw up. Like it would be nauseating for me, and my dad would literally be like, "I can't even tell the difference." I'm like, "Why'd you buy this big ass fucking TV? Why did you spend $1,500 on an HD TV if you don't know the difference between HD and standard definition?"
My mom, to this day, cannot tell the difference between HD and VHS. Which makes me want to kill myself.
VHS...
I inherited this woman's genes.
Well...
Like VHS is half the resolution of standard definition TV.
I have seemingly inspired several people to delete their Twitter accounts. CopX Digiboy says, I just deleted my Twitter account. Social media is a meme and a waste of time. I agree.
I disagree.
Literally all Twitter is right now is pictures of fucking Bowser as Princess Peach. So you're not missing much of anything.
What's funny is that I haven't seen a lot of those, despite being on Twitter all the time. I guess I just follow better people.
As far as I can tell, that's all Twitter is right now.
I mean, for most people it is. I just follow a lot of indie game devs and like 3D animators now, so I guess they're all busy doing projects that matter. Though some of the 2D artists I'm following have been drawing that. So...
Digibro, are you going to do Ashita no Joe? What do you mean by am I going to do it?
You're going to do it.
Am I going to do a 40-year-old anime? 50-year-old anime? God damn.
Okay. We're at the spot. This is the spot where the game becomes unplayable on standard controls. And this is where I stopped playing this the first time until I found this controller setting. And you'll understand why in a second.
Oh, I already understand why. I remember.
You remember this boss?
Works. Yeah.
Can you imagine trying to do this without the revised controls? Like this.
Yeah.
You have to be able to lock onto them, or you're fucked.
Yeah, this would be unreasonable. I think this is where we gave up, actually. Yeah, now that I think about it, when me and Boyd were playing this for Digibros, like we made it to this boss, and then he was just like, "I can't do it," and he made like several attempts, and we were just like, "Fuck this, let's play the GameCube version." So yeah, it's a shame we didn't know that you could change the thing, but
well,
you know, it is what it is.
You guys just weren't games enough at the time.
Yeah,
it happens.
Digi, will your Final Fantasy X analysis be released as a big video or an actual book? I really want to see it because I finally got into it and it's literally a top 10 of all time contender. I mean, I can't guarantee I will actually make the damn thing, but I would definitely make a video out of it. If I were to do so. Especially if I Am Games. Maybe I'll make it like a... If I Am Games gets big enough... Here's what our I Am Games milestones are going to be, alright? If I Am Games hits 10,000 YouTube subscribers, we'll make an actual Twitch schedule. And if it hits, let's say, 50,000 subscribers... no. Scratch that. If it hits 10,000 subscribers, we'll make an I Am Games... we'll make a Twitch schedule. If enough people love it that they want us to open a Patreon, I'll make a Patreon stretch goal that I make the Final Fantasy X analysis.
Seems fair.
That makes enough sense. But yeah, like, because I'd have to play the whole fucking game again, because I don't remember. I, of course, didn't write anything down of what I had in mind. Like, all I wrote was I wrote, like, the chapter structure of the book. Like, I wrote a table of contents for the book, but I didn't take any notes about what it would be because I didn't think I'd actually do it. It was just, like, me, like, oh, this is just a fantasy that'll never come true, you know? But then, fast forward 6 months later, and I'm like, I really want to write that book.
Happens.
I think because I didn't realize at the time just what I was sitting on, that I'm not gonna find another video game that I have that much to say about, you know? Like, I think I was in the mindset of like, oh, I can't go and make a whole book about a game. There's a million games I could do that for, and I'm not gonna cover all the games. And now I'm like, actually, maybe Final Fantasy X is the game I have the most to say about. Like,
let's
see.
What are you gonna do? Missiles back. Missiles look so stupid in this game. That's like the one thing I don't like about this setting, is that the missiles are just like purple balls. In Metroid Prime 3, they changed them to look like actual missiles, and it's pretty sick. Energy tank.
The last time I watched cable, there were 16 straight commercials in a row. People would fucking riot if that happened on the internet. That's literally why I don't watch TV. Like, I can't sit through commercials.
I forgot that cable was so much of a thing. I thought you were talking about, like, a Marvel cable series on Netflix or something. I was like, what happened to Netflix?
No.
Yeah. Alright. Well, I don't have Morph Ball, so I can't go there yet.
I think you'll actually come out of that hole after you do what you need to do with the Morph Ball.
I believe you're correct. Screen is dark. I don't know where the safe part of the floor is.
Do you want to turn up the brightness?
I probably should.
I could do that for you if you think it would be good for you.
I don't know if it's just this area or because I mean everything else is pretty.
It's definitely like slightly brighter on the recording.
All right, because this TV for some reason has been skewing dark just in general.
Yeah, I'll be able to turn.
When I played Infamous, I had to turn the contrast way up.
Oh god, my toe is like fucked up from all those times I bailed on the stairs.
Oh, picture mode energy. No wonder. Run energy efficient mode. Disgusting.
How do I switch that?
I don't know. Thank God this isn't being picked up on the screen because I can't see shit right now. We just have a TV overlay.
Fuck is fucking. How did I end up?
Yeah, see, this is why I did the remote. The menu's inoperable with the TV buttons. Picture mode. We need to change picture mode.
What do I fucking press to make that happen?
I don't know. Parental controls, God no. DLC.
There is no fucking select button.
Yeah, isn't it weird?
Oh wait, there is.
Oh.
It's the source button.
Oh, okay. Change that picture
Energy.
mode. Standard.
That looks brighter already, so we'll go.
Do we have like dynamic? It looks kind of ghosty.
Like
yeah, not that. Is there like a vivid mode? Usually those are pretty sick.
No.
Alright. Cool. Whatever.
This will change nothing for the viewers, but for us, it made the screen brighter.
Oh yeah, I can actually see the ground a little bit better now. But I don't need to go this way, because I'm going the wrong way. Anyway.
Serious Sam underrated? As far as I've heard, most people love Serious Sam, with the exception of a man with the YouTube channel The Examined Life of Gaming, who made a video about how he thinks Serious Sam is a huge pile of shit. And watching his video, I gotta say, the game looks like complete fucking ass. I thought it looked like a terrible game. But
I have not played it, so I cannot say.
I mean, certainly, like, the visual design of the game is butt nasty.
It's a budget game, isn't it?
I mean, yeah. Definitely. Like, it looks like the kind of thing that, if it were released today, would be like Steam shovelware.
Oh, looks like an asset flip.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Like, it looks like it was made with just whatever assets came.
I remember
with
I
the
played
engine.
a Serious Sam demo for the Xbox on a demo disc, and I just remember some guys running at me going,
Yeah, that's what half of it is.
and I immediately wanted to never play it again. But I figured this was just a poor choice for a demo level. Perhaps I was mistaken in that assumption. I was like, this doesn't seem very serious at all.
Interested in doing a Shar Aznable video? I am, but I am in the long haul with that, alright? I had that idea 10 years ago, and I still haven't made any more progress in watching Gundam than I had at the time.
Like, how much Gundam have you watched?
I've watched not as much as I would need to.
Have you watched the best Gundam?
Debatable? I mean...
G Gundam.
Oh, yeah, I've watched G Gundam.
The best one.
G Gundam is very good. But it also has a lot of really terrible episodes. So.
Impossible. They're
There's
all
that.
great.
I mean, you're a Toku fan, so you can forgive a lot of that. Because the show is a Toku show, basically.
Yeah, that's why it's the
has
best
the same
fucking
spirit.
shit of all time.
But yeah, I do love G Gundam.
Chibbity Crockett, the Statue of Liberty cannon, Neo America's ultimate weapon. I've never been more proud to be an American.
Oh man, it's funny because the main character Domon Kashu is voiced by Tomokazu Seki, who is in a lot of things, but like all the shows I've been watching lately happen to have him in them. And so I've just been thinking about him constantly.
This hand of mine is burning red! Its loud roar tells me to grasp victory!
Take this,
My love, my anger, and all of my sorrow! Shining finger! Go! Go! Go!
But see, as awesome as that speech is, when he becomes...
Games.
Big quotes, burning Gundam.
Yeah, God
and,
Gundam.
Yeah, like, it's way cooler in Japanese when he's Goldfinger than erupting burning finger. No, erupting burning is not nearly as cool as shining or Godfinger.
Godfinger.
Goldfinger! But yeah, it sounds fucking awesome in Japanese too, but of course I don't remember it. Because I don't speak Jap. Yet. One
You'll
day.
get there.
That's a even project I've been on even longer than the Shar Aznable project. But like, if I
We need to
wanted
start a side project at I Am Games called I Am Weeb, where we just learn Japanese.
Yeah, I mean, me and Nate had plans to do a video series where we were gonna like do a competition, where it's like we had to learn it. Like, we were gonna compete to see who could learn Japanese faster, and like thinking that the the
Nate already knows
element-
Japanese. Isn't he setting up to cheat right from the get-go?
He does not know Japanese. He probably knows less of it than I do.
I thought he could like read Japanese and shit.
I mean, it's reading the Japanese alphabet is really easy. Like, that is basic baby shit.
I don't know, dude.
He would be able to read the alphabet but not know what any of it means, you know? And like, neither of us can read a fucking lick of kanji, which, like, if you can't read kanji, you basically can't read Japanese.
You can read Shonen Jump, and what else do you need?
Right. But like, I don't think he would. I think his vocabulary is probably even smaller.
If
than
I can
mine,
read Black
so.
Clover, what else do I really? I mean, that's all I care. That's why I want to learn Japanese.
Maybe Digi is doing a Char video because the Char clone in Gundam IBO is a canon lolicon. Char is a canon lolicon. That is part of why I want to do a video about him. Like, that's kind of the main motivation, is to talk about how Char is the ultimate anime character, because he basically is, like, represents, like, everything otaku stand for, including being a lolicon, because Char literally only shows interest in underage girls over the course of the entire show. Like,
you saw him at the tender old age. Was like, that's me. That's what I want to be.
Like in the original show, he's with Lala Soon, and she's, I don't know if she is underage, but she looks like a lolly. And then in Zeta, it's like he had a prior relationship with Haman Karn and broke up with her because she came of age. And then in Char's counterattack, he like manipulates a fucking like 16-year-old to do his bidding. So he's a fucking huge lolicon. Is this real?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I'm pretty sure it's real.
What is
This
this?
can't be real.
I'm pretty sure it's real.
It can't be real. How would you even operate it?
Oh Jesus! I mean, there's you can get Twitter on refrigerators now from Samsung.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Okay, what May is showing me is Social Toaster, which is a toaster that has Facebook, Twitter. That doesn't look real at all. Like, it looks completely fake.
It does look fake, but
But can you really get Twitter on a fucking fridge?
yeah, Samsung makes smart fridges
Why?
that have giant screens on them.
Why?
You're asking
Literally,
Bro.
why?
because, dude. Sometimes when you wake up in the morning, you're making your
When I wake
cereal.
in the morning.
You gotta see if you got those sick retweets. You gotta see if you gotta check those new awesome Bowsette photos that were posted while you were sleeping by your Japanese artists that you follow. You know? It's important. By the way, May's leaving after coming up to show us that that photo. Mark will be back in a second, I'm sure.
Does anybody want any snacks?
Yeah, I want chips and salsa.
I want whatever, and then if I could get some vodka mixed with like my diet Pepsi. You don't have to mix it. You can just bring the vodka up. I feel.
Coke with or rum with it? Why would you want vodka and Pepsi?
I just put vodka with
vodka
everything.
and Pepsi sounds disgusting, dude. We have Kraken. That will like mix perfectly with Pepsi. Like, you won't even be able to tell there's alcohol in it because Kraken tastes
If
like
you have
Pepsi.
Kraken, I take back the vodka and say go for Kraken. Because
Right.
that's some good shit.
Because we have not been we don't ever drink our rum. Like, it just sits around.
Really?
Yeah.
Rum and vodka are my two go-tos.
It's because I don't like to drink dark mixed drinks. I mean, she might, but I generally
that.
want like fruity mixed drinks if I'm drinking mixed drinks. You know, we like 80% of the alcohol that we consume is just pink lemonade and vodka. Because pink lemonade masks the taste so much that like you could put as much vodka in there as you want. You can put like a triple shot.
I kind of like the
lemonade
taste
cup.
of vodka, though.
Well, I'm surprised you're not an alcoholic if that's the case.
I hate being drunk, that's why.
Oh man, I love being drunk. Do you enjoy your regular state of consciousness?
No, but I hate being drunk more. Because, like, my brain still functions, it just, like, is in slow motion, so I have to suffer through each
Right.
thought longer.
I guess I understand that idea. I mean, it just... Being drunk sucks if you let yourself get existential.
I'm never
Same
not
for being
existential.
high. Like, the second you get... Well, like, to me, what's great about being drunk or high is that it's a lot easier to enjoy the random distractions. So, like, if I'm sober and I try to watch, like, just some regular, like, you know, boilerplate anime, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? But if I'm drunk, I'm gonna be like, hey, let's watch the show, you know? It also helps with editing a lot. Anything that like, any task that does not require like upper thought, you know? Like, ideally when you're editing, you should already know what you're supposed to do. It's just a matter of doing it. And when something is just a matter of doing it, then that is the most boring part, you know? That's why, like, I think I could be a storyboarder, but not necessarily an animator. Because, like, cranking out storyboards is, like, bringing to life the vision. And animating is, like, laboriously making what is already basically fine more watchable, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the fun in animating... I mean, I hate doing 2D animation, but 3D animation can be fun. It's
3D
just
animation is
like,
totally different, though, because you
you're
just
playing with
gotta
action
move it
figures.
from point A to point B. You don't gotta fucking draw 80 illustrations.
No,
you know?
it's a totally different thing. It still work for sure, but it's... If you like playing with action figures, you probably love being a 3D animator. You get to play with like the best action figure you've ever had in your life.
So, is 3D animation more like move it a little and take another picture, or can you like just script a 3D animation?
I mean, what it does is it's less about like frame by frame, and like stop motion is like you move it each frame a little bit. 3D combines basically stop motion and 2D, so you can make your keyframes and then it'll automatically tween in between them, and then you refine those tweens to make them more realistic and stuff.
I'm trying to find a happy medium where all three of us can access this Tostitos. Is this good for you? Oh god, they're too deep.
Too deep for you.
Make a bowl. Can we just make a bowl in the center of the table?
Smokable?
You don't have to. Mark made a face like I would rather kill myself than go downstairs again.
Mark only has so much goodwill that we can milk per hour.
How can I tear this bag so that it... Do we have any sharp things nearby?
I have a pair of scissors I can get in my room. That you could just cut the top of the bag off.
If you want to do that, I mean, you're in the middle of playing this game.
I don't give a shit.
Here, hand it to me. I'll fucking...
I'll
be a game.
Frank, you gotta scan these things to open up the door.
Alright.
This is the game part of the game.
I know this room. The question is, how do I use these controls? Oh, Jesus, fuck. I shot a fucking plant. Alright, did you already scan this one?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that was short-lived. Wait, do that in front of the camera so they can see you fucking...
You should probably hold it from the bottom.
Yeah, hold it from the... hold it from where it won't spill.
Well, I was just expecting to just have it fall onto the couch. We are doing this shit live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live! Hopefully the camera's not frozen at the moment.
Well, that's why you need to go to patreon.com/giveusmoney.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you. Here, take each control. Like, I literally cannot play this game. I don't understand it at all.
It's just all about being games. If you're games, you'll be fine. As I fall into the water and die slowly. Oh god, I'm like actually almost dead. No wait, I have another energy tank, I'm fine. Let's see, where were we?
One day I want to make a great looking Berserk video game to make Shin Itagaki feel like a bad person for Berserk 2016 and prove people who say Berserk can't be adapted wrong. There was a Berserk game for the Dreamcast that Kentaro Miura actually did the story for.
Whoa. Oh yeah, I remember that game. I wanted to play it really bad.
It actually looks pretty sick. Me and Victor talked about it when we did our famous Digibros Discuss on Berserk 2016. We talked about how, like, it's ironic that, like, everyone blames the fact that it's CG for why it's bad, but, like, the Berserk Dreamcast game looks good. Like, it looks like Berserk should look, and it's in 3D, you know?
I made a... What's the name of the little girl again? Because you said you knew her actual name.
Shirke.
Yeah, Shirke. Whatever the fuck. I did a 3D model of her, and people said that looked really good, so...
Yeah.
It's possible.
I mean, all you gotta do is make it look like, you know...
It's not even that... I mean, I did a
Make
whole
the
video...
textures
I did a whole
right.
video series about this, so if you ever want to watch that and get the full lowdown. But it's just they animated it bad. It's not that the models themselves were quote unquote bad. They just mixed visual styles and forgot that like things move not like sock puppets. Yeah, there were some critical errors there.
Thoughts on the Soul Reaver games?
I really enjoyed Soul Reaver 1, and even though I haven't finished it, and I want to play that entire series because I think Raziel is like one of the coolest looking characters ever.
He does look badass.
The voice acting and the story in those games is really cool.
Yeah. Little known fact, and I learned this from Jesse, the same woman who wrote all the Blood Omen and Soul Reaver games also wrote the Uncharted games.
Jesus Christ, what happened?
Which, I mean, the Uncharted games have great stories and great voice acting.
The voice acting's fantastic. I will give the games that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just voice acting, but the acting, since they, like, literally act the characters.
Random weird aside about Uncharted. Do you know, like, a couple months ago, because I watched it when I was here, there was an Uncharted fan film that came out starring Nathan Fillion as Nathan Drake.
That's weird.
It was very weird, but it was incredibly well done. It was like probably the best video game related film thing that ever has been made because it was like on point to a T. I was like,
have you ever seen that Zelda fan film?
I mean, which one?
I mean, there's one that I guess was like sort of infamous. It's worth getting like real fucked up and watching with some friends.
Is it like a full length film or something?
Yeah, there's like a full length,
2-hour
Zelda film made by like, I don't know, some people, and it is. I mean, a lot of it's just boring, but a lot of it is also awesomely bad. There are moments that made it so I did not regret sitting through a majority of it.
Well, damn.
But, like, you know, not because of it being good in any way, shape, or form.
I've actually played all the Uncharted games.
Do you like them?
They're okay. I really liked Uncharted 4 because at that point, I knew what I was getting into, so I played it on easy. Because, the game is just like, half the game is just like you press X and you go where you need to go. And so they kind of just embrace that on easy mode. Because in easy mode, the gunplay actually works as you would expect it to in a realistic game where everybody dies in like 1 to 2 hits. Unlike in all the other difficulties where they're like bullet sponges. And then they added a lock-on feature, kind of like a PlayStation 1 shooter would have. And it just made so much more sense. I'm like, of course. Like, this game like is plays itself anyway, so the shooting should be exactly the same.
It's really funny you're saying all this, because Uncharted 1 is one of the only games I've beaten on the highest difficulty. In fact, it might be the only game I've beaten on the highest difficulty. Because I fucking loved Uncharted 1.
I don't know how I feel, and I'm not happy about it. I liked Uncharted 2 a lot. Uncharted 3... I couldn't finish. There was just so many sections where it's just wave after wave of bullet sponge guys.
I couldn't even make it past like early on in that game. And it's funny, I feel like I might be the only person in the world who Uncharted 1, and I haven't played 4 yet, granted, but like
we have it.
Be the only person in the world who liked 1 more than 2. And it's because like I legitimately enjoy
shitty games.
The big complaint that a lot of people have about Uncharted 1 is that the shooting segments, especially if you play them on the highest difficulty, are really more about memorization than they are about like reaction and skill. That's why I like it. Like, what I like about the game is that I like replaying the segment over and over again until I've memorized it so that I can do it perfectly. Because then when you do it perfectly, it's a huge come. And, like, I just think of it as a puzzle game and not a shooter game, you know? Like, if you think of it as a shooter, yeah, it's annoying that the enemies have hit scan weapons and you fucking gotta, like, they spawn in, like, you know, like... You kill a certain number of guys, and then a dude spawns in a perfect roost to snipe you. But if you memorize who spawns when, and you do the segment enough times, and you learn exactly which cover is the best one to get behind to deal with each individual enemy, eventually you will just flawlessly execute what will look like a really beautiful fucking, you know, thing. It's just a puzzle game.
If I want to do that, I'll just play Super Hot.
You could do that, and Super Hot didn't exist when I played Uncharted 1 10 fucking years ago. 11 fucking... No, yeah, 10 years ago.
I want to play that game for real. I haven't played it, like...
Super Hot.
I played, like, the original, like, kind of demo web version, but I never played the final release. I don't think I need to go this way yet, because I need bombs, and I don't have bombs yet.
I just played Rise of the Tomb Raider, and it's like Uncharted, but better. Yeah, pretty much.
I still haven't played through the first Tomb Raider.
I haven't played the other ones, but I beat the first.
I remember that. All right, this still isn't bright enough.
What's great about Tomb Raider as compared to Uncharted is that, like, it's basically the same game except that you can go and explore and do things. Like, it's... Tomb Raider's funny because I would describe it as a low-key open-world game because, like, you can just play it like an Uncharted game and just, like, go right from point A to point B and just do the story and, like, not really explore. But you can also play it like a collect-a-thon 3D platformer. And that's my preferred way of playing it because I have fun just, like, getting everything and, like, 100%ing it. And, that's what I did. I think I got like 98% because I'm sure there was something that was too much of a pain in the ass. There usually is. I don't remember. We were doing a Digi and May Let's Play of it, but I think we did like 2-hour-long videos, and like because I was so into playing the game, I just played the rest of it off screen. So it's like 2 videos of just completely random parts of the game. And no footage of me beating it.
I haven't had rum in a long time. Oh my god.
You like?
I love rum.
But
I'm like fucking... What's his name? Where's the rum going?
Alright. Mime thinks as big cum. Straight from Japan. Not kid stuff. You just gotta get that... Gotta get that... It's spelled S-K-R-R-A-P, which I assume is meant to be pronounced Skria.
I can accept it.
Digi, I'm hoping to pick up Karekano again. Once I finish, do you know where I could pick up in the manga? Nowhere. Manga is not the same. It's not worth it. Like, I know people who have gone and read the manga after finishing the anime, and none of them said it was worth it at all. Like... What made the anime good is that Hideaki Anno directed it. Like, and the funny thing is, like, that was the contention that made it so the last 8 episodes were so shitty, is that, like, the manga author was upset that the manga was not, like, more accurate to the... Or that the anime was not more accurate to the manga, because, like, the manga is just a straight-up shoujo rom-com, and the anime is a Hideaki Anno anime, so...
Who gave... a rom-com to Hideaki Anno?
I mean, for what it's worth, he made the greatest rom-com anime of all fucking time. Like, Karekano is the greatest thing ever.
I mean, I'm not debating that. I'm just saying before, who was like, let's give this guy a rom-com. Like,
I think it was just that, like, Gainax just, you know, was in the market to adapt something. Like... And he was the guy who they had in charge. Like,
I guess. I mean,
you know, it's... I mean, that's like... I would almost ask that question of every anime adaptation of a manga. Because, like, when someone creates a manga, it's like their personal vision, one-to-one to the screen. And when you adapt that into anime, there's basically 2 routes you can go with it. You can either just literally transliterate the manga into animation by just copying it frame by frame, or a completely other set of people can make their own version that is inherently, you know, gonna be completely fucking different, you know? And, like, the better the director is, the more different it's going to be, because they're going to know how to turn it into something that makes sense in its own medium. So, like, Anno being a god of anime directing made it a godly anime. And, like, I think that what the original author was bothered by is that, like, a lot of it is more comedic feeling, but, like, it's only because it's more energetic and, like, it's more functional as an animation. But, like, it does not lose any of the bite. If anything, it is, like, extremely emotional. And, you know, I think the author just didn't understand and was probably upset that, like, you know, what she saw as her vision was not being communicated.
I mean,
but
as someone with a vision, he tries to communicate through his art. I can understand that.
don't let them make your shit into a fucking anime if you don't want it to be changed, you know?
That's probably why I wouldn't do it.
Though, like, she probably could have communicated her, like, what she wanted.
Intent a
more
bit
clearly.
better.
Like Naoki Urasawa, the guy who created Monster, is known for the fact that, like, all the anime adaptations of his shit are, like, direct one-to-one, because he's, like, very adamant that, you know, they make his shit exactly the way it was when he did it. But as a result, there's kind of no reason for his shit to exist as anime in the first place. It's just like, go read the manga. It's faster. It's the same fucking thing, you know?
I mean, I think there are certain shows that benefit from an anime adaptation. I think Shonen in particular are really good for that, just because, like,
Shonen are usually fucking terrible as anime, though, because they fucking can't capture the same level of art quality producing it week after week, you know? Like,
well, that's why they shouldn't be
terrible as
weekly.
anime.
Nothing should be weekly, like, forever.
Well,
it's a
you know.
terrible idea.
Hey, bomb that fucking wall down there. That
I don't have bombs yet.
No, with the missile. Missile that wall right there. Hell yeah. Those mushrooms are gonna hurt you.
Yeah, fuck it. I got an energy tank.
Did you, where is my how they marketed director's cut? I will remember to do that soon, hopefully. I keep forgetting to put it together because I have to record. And basically, it's just the same video you've already watched, but with the first 6 minutes appended back on, because I removed the first 6 minutes for the version I released, because they were, like, all relevant to the idea of it being a series, and then I have to tack on a vlog at the end that will explain what actually was how they marketed supposed to be. Like, what would this video have been like if it had been created the way it was intended? But, I haven't recorded that vlog and re-rendered it. What's up, Mark? What's going on? Touch. I just recently watched Karikano and each episode had me screaming, "How did you fuck this up?" Because I knew what was going to happen in the last episodes. It was perfect. Yeah. I mean, it's not like the last 8 episodes are terrible. They're just, like, average as compared to a show that was, like, unbelievably amazing up to that point. Like, the first time I watched it, I remember feeling that those episodes were, like, a huge letdown. And then when I watched it again, just, like, with the mentality that the show ends at episode 18, you know, there's nothing really wrong with them. They're just... It's like most of it is set up for the next arc, and then the next arc doesn't come, so... It just kind of feels like, well... Those episodes sure were boring by comparison.
Oh, so I was going the right way. I guess I just fucked it up. Thought I needed bombs to get through there, though. Oh, well. It's not.
Jared McGrander says, you know the stream has more people in it than Arcadas at the moment. I mean, I don't know where Arcada is streaming, but it's funny. Not really in competition with him.
I don't even know who that is.
You ever seen Glass Reflection?
Nope.
It's an anime review channel that's been around since the dawn of time.
Do I look like the kind of boy who watches anime reviews?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry.
I gotta change my image quick then.
Tom, how's the Splatoon video going?
I've written some notes for it. I played it a bit more today just to kind of get me familiar with it. Again, 'cause I haven't played it in a while. That and the Doom video will come out eventually. I'm spending like 80% of my time working on 3D and working on making a game or learning how to make a game. So everything else is kind of secondary at this point. But they will happen at some point.
Some people are noting the existence of my 1 out of 10 score for for Fully Cooley Season 2. I've already written and recorded an 18-minute video about it, which Devu has got in his hands. The short summary is the first sentence of the video. Fully Cooley Progressive is a fucking travesty. Not only one of the worst sequels I've ever seen, but just one of the worst shows in general that I've ever sat through.
Oh boy.
It's really fucking bad.
When did you watch this? Just like recently?
Yeah, like over the course of like 2 or 3 days. That's how bad it is that I couldn't marathon 6 episodes of it.
Oh, it's another 6 episode thing. Yeah. They even copied that.
Yeah, that's right. Like, and I talk about this in my video that like, why? Like, do they think that like it's an important facet of Fully Cooley that it is 6 episodes? Because there is not 6 episodes worth of things that happen in Progressive. There's like maybe 3 episodes worth of things that happen.
Unnerving.
Yeah.
Man, why you should have? Where was I? I would have wanted to have watched. Was I just?
Dude, you would have fucking wanted to kill yourself.
I know, but like, I feel like I love Fully Cooley. I need.
That's all the reason not to watch it.
Yeah, but I have this like morbid curiosity in watching things I love getting killed.
I mean, and there's also a 3rd season that's currently coming out.
Right.
Only the first episode.
Why would they do 2?
I mean,
you want to know why? It's because
it works.
Now it's 666.
Yeah. I mean, like,
we should have known.
The thing is, like, even if literally everyone hates it, like,
it'll still make money.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter. Like, the worst that can happen is they can't make a season 4 because everyone hated 2 and 3. You know, like the fact that if you make a sequel to something that beloved, then yeah, it's gonna make its money automatically, and like you might kill the ability to do it again if it's bad, but like you can make it as bad as you fucking want, and at least once it's gonna work. You know?
Yeah. God. Art is dead.
Art was dead from the moment it was born. Art came out the pussy fucking dead.
Stillborn.
Yeah.
I never realized how dark this room was and that you needed to let these things like permeate in order to see what you were doing. I guess because the TV I was playing on at the time was bright enough that I could just walk through this room no problem.
What think of Pandora Tower on Wii? Never heard of it. You heard of it?
I've not heard of Pandora Tower, but it sounds cool. I feel like the Wii probably has a lot of buried gems like the DS, but like I just don't know about them because the Wii, unlike the DS, wasn't cool.
Did you bro top 3 favorite restaurants? Oh boy. Kona Grill probably has to be in there just because the barbecue chicken flatbread is the best thing I've ever eaten in my life. And I've gone back to eat it several times, and every single time it's just as impressive as the first time. And I've sent at least 10 people on Twitter have sent me pictures of them eating it and confirmed that they felt as strongly about it as I did. So I would say that has to be number 1. I don't really know if the rest of their menu is good because I haven't had the courage to not order the beloved barbecue chicken flatbread on account of the fact that I have only gone there like 3 times because there's none anywhere near me. Number 2 might be California Pizza Kitchen because literally everything on the menu there is great. You can order fucking anything and it tastes amazing. What would be my 3rd?
Taco Bell.
I've had too many terrible experiences at Taco Bell for me to put it on my list. I used to live next to a Taco Bell, so like, you know, I've had too much Too much Taco Bell for one lifetime. This game has fucking phenomenal music, by the way.
It's amazing. That's why it's so sad that they cut out the amazing OP on the title screen.
Yeah.
There is no title screen.
Fucking, I just was watching yesterday's, someone made a video about... Did you watch that video about the Majora's Mask comparison that I told you about?
No, you told me about it, though.
Yeah, that guy made a second video, and it was about, like, just basically how Nintendo had fucked up Metroid and then got back on course with the new game. And it was nothing I hadn't heard before. In fact, it was kind of weird that he even felt the need to make a video like that, considering how many people have expressed these sentiments already. But nonetheless, one detail he pointed out that I hadn't realized is that Metroid Other M just has, like generic, like, you know, atmospheric noise soundtrack. Like, there's not, like, music in it. It doesn't have, like, tunes. It's just, like, you know, the sound of a spaceship kind of thing.
How weird.
Yeah. It's really sad.
That's, like, a very not Nintendo thing to do.
Well, they didn't make it. Fucking Ninja Theory made it.
Right.
And they
Team Ninja.
composer was a... That's what I meant.
I get them confused all the time.
The composer was an anime composer. And, like, in the cutscenes, there's, like, epic, cool, you know, like... symphonic music, like the kind of shit you'd expect to be like a film score, you know, but like as a result the actual gameplay is just like atmospheric music that is completely unmemorable.
Are they going for like an Alien kind of thing, like play
no.
that reference on the nose?
The game does not have that kind of atmosphere. Ego Raptor probably put it best that that Metroid Other M would make more sense if it had been called a Mega Man game. Because it plays like what you would imagine Mega Man playing like in 3D.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That somehow makes me want to play it more just to understand that sentence.
Yeah, well, because it's very like arcadey and it's very fast. Like that is the cool thing about it, is that Samus like hauls ass and like...
See, those are things I like.
I mean, there are elements of the mechanics that make sense and would be good, but it's like the level design is really terrible. And, like, the enemies are just, like, kind of generic. And the fact that you played on a Wiimote means the controls are extremely simplified and bad. So, like, you know, like, it has seeds of an idea that could have been good. It's just that it's a clusterfuck. And so, you know... But, and also there's already, a ton of people have broken it down. So, like, I'm not interested in, like, you know, doing a video on it or anything.
I wouldn't say do it for IM Games. I'm curious to kind of give it a playthrough in my own time. This boss sucks.
Nero talks too much. Says, I mean, to be honest, the only reason I hate it is because Fooly Cooly has been my favorite anime since I was a kid. If you don't care much about Fooly Cooly, it's probably fine. It seems that, like, all the people I saw who were positive about Season 2 seemed like people who didn't really care about or understand Season 1. But, like, take it on its own merit, Season 2 is fucking awful. Like, it's just boring and bland and makes no fucking sense. And a lot of the reasons it makes no fucking sense is because it misunderstands the original show. So, like, because it seems to think that Fooly Cooly is just full of random wacky nonsense for no fucking reason... it is full of random wacky nonsense that feels like a complete tone break from the rest of the, you know, people standing around doing nothing that is the majority of the show. God, I hate it so much. What think of N64 Mystical Ninja starring Goemon? Never played it. You ever played Mystical Ninja?
No. I haven't. Most of the N64 library I have not played. Because N64 games were like $60 back in the day, so I couldn't get a lot of them. I only had like 4 N64 games. So... And I just hate... I don't think the Nintendo 64 hardware has aged well. It like really pisses me off. Like that very low frame rate, the super blurry visuals. So it's not something I go back to very often.
What think of Horizon Zero Dawn?
I did finish that game. Thought it was pretty fun. I mean, it's not great or amazing or anything, but it's fun. It's just like, you know, it's another open world game. The monster design was really cool.
Wait, have you been getting hurt in this match or not? Because it didn't look like you were jumping It looked like you were getting hit, but your life didn't seem to be going down.
I'm shooting the wasp and they're dropping health drops. So I'm kind of gaining my life back that I'm losing, but I'm not getting hit very hard anyway. This is a very simple like milquetoast boss. It's just like a pillar that shoots fire.
Why are you jumping over the goddamn fire?
The problem is that when you're locked on and you hit jump, you do a dash. So you dash straight into the fire instead of jumping.
Why?
So I have to stop locking on. So it's better to just tank the hits.
Oh no, that's retarded.
Yeah. It's good for combat, because usually in combat you don't need to jump like that. Hence why it's a shit boss. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm already not going to get 100% because I didn't scan the first 2 power-ups. How long have we been going for? I don't even remember playing this game. I've just been doing all this on autopilot.
Yeah, this Conkeys guy says, I liked Other M, and sometimes I want to replay it, but then I remember I can't skip the cutscenes and completely lose that feeling. Yeah, that's basically the only reason that I have not been able to bring myself to try it. Because, like, enough of the mechanics are interesting that I would be interested in playing it, but, like, the cutscenes are long and fucking insufferable.
See, here's a... Because I like DMC Devil May Cry. And I've always felt like maybe I would feel the same way about Other M. But you can skip the cutscenes in DMC.
Yeah.
And thank God.
Other M's cutscenes are like brutally long, brutally retarded, and unskippable.
I know everyone... I know a lot of people were mad about it because, like, Samus is, like, a bitch in that game. Like, just like a pussy bitch who needs a man to save her or something.
It's not that she needs a man to save her. It's that you literally can't do anything except for by the command of a guy. Like... Your commanding officer...
Are you a part of the Federation in this game or something?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that kind of makes sense.
But, like, the guy... Like, okay, the way that you...
This is Adam, right? The guy that's referenced to in Metroid Fusion.
The way that you get your power-ups is that Adam tells you that you are allowed to use them.
Right.
So, like, literally...
It's like Power Rangers. You're not allowed to escalate the conflict.
You have all of them on you, but, like, until the moment when he says, okay, you can use this now... You can't use it. And it's very arbitrary when he tells you. And, like, sometimes there's... You might, like, go through a room and there's a locked door. And then Adam will, like, unlock the door later and be like, oh, you can go through that door now. You know?
I mean, I guess... I mean, the door part is dumb. But I was going to say for the power-ups, like... The framing device is stupid. But mechanically, is it any more arbitrary than us slamming into the elevator wall in the beginning of this game and losing all our power-ups? It's essentially the same thing.
Yeah, but like in this game, when you get the power-ups back, you have to go and adventure and find it, and then you get it, and it's satisfying, and you use it for things. In that game, literally, your character has them all on her, and he just sometimes out of nowhere tells you, okay, you can use this one now.
Alright, that is kind of dumb.
Like, you don't go and get it. You don't, like, go into a room and beat a boss and then you get to use the new power. Like, you'll walk into a room and he'll be like, oh, you need missiles to get through this room, so I've activated your ability to use missiles now.
Okay, that is kind of gay.
Yeah. So, like, it's, like, even from a game design standpoint, it's just a really terrible idea, you know?
Just, like, you're getting power-up cucked.
Yeah.
Alright. Fuck you, mushrooms. Fuck you. Man, Samus Returns was such a fun game. Everyone should play that.
I haven't really played much of that yet.
I really, really liked it. I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of it, but I
haven't seen anybody who's not a big fan of it.
People are just like,
it's me.
Like some people were like, oh, it like completely spits in the face of Metroid 2 as a concept.
I think that was just me. You just talked to me about this.
No, I think I've watched a video that said this too. Oh. So, but yeah.
I mean, I want to play it, but like
it is much more handholdy than most Metroid games.
Have you played Metroid 2?
I tried. Game's unplayable.
No, the game's awesome.
No, it's
so... It's one of my favorites.
It's so dated. I mean, the concept of the game is super sick, but the fact that it's just so old feeling is, like, nigh unapproachable.
I loved Metroid 2. I played it on an emulator with a strategy guide, and it was great.
Well, I played it on a Game Boy in my hands with nothing else. So I suppose that would change the experience a bit.
But and I also really want to play AM2R, and
that was really fun. I didn't play all of it, but I started playing it. And,
I'd love to do. I don't know if anyone's already done a comparison video of the two, but I
was
would
done
love
like
to.
the day Samus Returns came out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
was there one?
Yeah.
Well,
The consensus is that AM2R is a better game.
well, I want to know if it's a better. If either, maybe I would do both of them and Metroid 2, because like. I really like Metroid 2 because it has by far the most, like what people consider to be, like, the core feel of Metroid.
Right,
that it's
isolation
like,
and,
yeah.
like, the just where the fuck do I go?
Yeah, and it really, really fucking feels that way. Like, you really feel like you're in a terrifying, fucking weird underground place, and, like, there's parts of the game where you're just, like, rolling around as a spider ball for, like, an hour, and, like, going into weird holes in the walls, and it's just like, whoa.
The problem is, the most terrifying thing of that game is, like, I can't believe I'm stuck playing this game and I can't aim up or down.
What, this game or that game?
No, Metroid 2.
Oh.
It's just, like, so mechanically archaic.
I mean, that's how the first one is, too.
That's why that game's really hard to play as well.
But the first one's hard to play because there's an amazing remake of it, so why would you ever go back and play the first one, you know?
AM2R is to Metroid 2 what Zero Mission is to Metroid 1.
That's what I hope, and I want to play it.
They added a ton
like,
of stuff, too. It's fucking
For me,
sick.
though, like, a lot of what I like about Metroid 2 has to do with the fact that it's in black and white, and that it, like, just feels so oppressively dark and creepy, and, like, you're in a fucking cave, you know? Like...
I can understand that.
Like, it just has that
I have
feeling
nothing,
of, like...
Nothing about
spelunking.
the aesthetic or anything like that.
It's like The Descent as a video game. And not that I've actually seen that movie, but...
your conception of what The Descent should be and probably
Yeah.
isn't because it's a fucking Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm super sensitive to mechanics. So, like, when mechanics get in my way, my fun decreases dramatically, even if the concept is really cool.
I mean, I will say, like...
Want that.
Metroid 2 gets really frustrating in the later part when, like, because all the Metroid fights are basically the same, and, like, they increase in complexity as the game goes on, but in only frustrating ways. Like, they don't increase
Samus
become
Returns
more
does
fun.
the exact same thing. They don't fix that. Whoever decided that, some of these later Metroids, they're going to run away from you and you have to go halfway through the level to find them to finish the fight, was an idiot and should be shot.
Yeah, in the original game, there's none of that. But what there is that, like, every Metroid you're fighting over, like, how do I put it? Like, every other step is a pit.
Oh, yeah, that sounds awful.
It's like, you know, like, land pit, land pit, land pit, land pit is, like, the layout of the ground, you know?
It's like the fucking final area with Mother Brain, except
Yes.
the entire thing.
Yeah, it's
Please
fucking
God,
handy.
please God, no.
And there's like 6 Metroids you have to fight that way, and that is by far the worst thing about the game.
Let's not. Oh, whoops! Forgot this guy's spawned in here again. What are missiles? I don't use missiles. Missiles are for pussies. Energy beam for life. All right.
Have you played Assassin's Creed?
I played Assassin's Creed, part of Assassin's Creed 2, and I couldn't do it because I just hate the way that game controls.
Yeah, I have no interest.
It's a shame. I was really excited to play them because I bought 2 and 3, and I was ready to be like, these are going to be some fun games.
I know 2 is known for having like an actually good story with a likable protagonist.
I mean, maybe. I couldn't get into it.
Yeah. Not my genre.
I don't understand why they even bothered with you're gonna dig into the memories of this dude. That seems so superfluous and unnecessary. Why not just set it in a time period? What was the point of having this sci-fi through line?
I mean, eventually they figured that out because later on that guy, in either 2 or 3, he fucking dies, and that is no longer a part of the series anymore.
Thank God, because I mean, it wasn't intrusive. It was just like baffling.
Yeah.
That it was even there in the first place. But yeah, fuck.
Just wait to see how many viewers we have and if the video quality is still bad. The video quality is still complete ass, but we somehow have 50 viewers anyways.
How many?
50.
Oh, I thought you said 2. I'm like, that makes sense.
Oh, no. So to you 50 viewers, I beseech you, if you
buy an I Am Games t-shirt.
If you if you want to know the future of the I Am Games channel, obviously we're playing not Super Metroid. Jesus, Super Metroid is always on my brain. We're playing Metroid Prime because we thought we could do videos on the Metroid Prime trilogy. Might be interesting, especially since the 4th one's going to come out eventually.
We hope.
So far, it's kind of weird because I've played through the opening section of this game so many fucking times that it's like white noise to me.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat.
But like, there's another game we were considering playing. We chose Metroid because it seemed like it would be the more obvious choice. Although now that I'm now that we're in it, I kind of want to play the other game because it would be way more unique and cool. But not that it's a more better game than this or anything necessarily. Just that it would be a lot of fun to cover.
Just because you're not used to it, it's not made noise.
A video about it. But aside from that, you're working on like a Doom video and a Splatoon video.
Yeah.
So like when we conceptualized this channel, we thought of it as just like Tom plays a video game and I write a video about it, and that's the channel. But like as soon as we started making it, we both realized we wanted to make videos about video games. So like we're both independently working on other things.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna tell you all what my video is that I'm working towards is gonna be about right now, so that you'll go buy and play the game. Because the one I'm doing is a game that none of you are gonna have fucking played. Called Crosscode. It's on Steam. It's a 16-bit style action RPG, and it's fucking dope. And so, yeah, I recommend it. Like, that's going to be the message of the video, is that ultimately I recommend it and you should play it. So, if you're the kind of person who wants to have played the game before the video comes out, or like you just want to get hype about a game that no one's really talking about yet, but they should be, go play it. It just fully released the other day. It's been in early access for like 3.5 years or something, but it's out now. It was funded by Indiegogo at some point for 90,000 euros.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a pretty decent budget.
Yeah, it had they had like a full demo before they did the Indiegogo, and
that's what I'd want to do if I ever publish my game.
Yeah, do like a demo and then a crowdfunding
campaign. Not the game I'm working on right now, like my actual real cool game.
Right.
For cool people. How do I get over there?
I don't know if anybody who follows this channel actually knows like the trajectory, like what you are doing exactly.
I barely know what I'm doing, so I wouldn't expect anybody else to.
So to clarify, like Tom created this character Izumi.
Yeah.
Like, and initially, because you got into doing 3D art.
Yep.
And then you were like, I'm doing a bunch of cool 3D art. I have no idea how to monetize this. Guess I'll make a video game.
Sad face.
And then you had this great character, Izumi, and you're like, I'll make a game about this character, and it'll be like Devil May Cry. It'll be like a 3D action game with combos. And then you were like, I gotta learn how to make a video game first, and the best way to learn how to make it is to work my way up by making smaller games. So I'll make like a facsimile of the concept, but as a 2D side-scrolling action game, starring the same character, but like, this is how I'll teach myself code.
Correct.
So when Tom says, my game, there's like a double meaning in that it's...
There's a few games.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, my thing right now is like, the general conceit for Izumi is that she's basically just supposed to be like a brand. Like there's going to be, I want to do tons of things like art and animations and games and all sorts of stuff, just to like have people be interested in the character in general. And then I was also thinking at some point, if it starts picking up, to just like release source filmmaker ports of like all the models, and like so other people can make stuff for her, so I can like profit off other people's work, like have you people do all the work for me, kind of idea. But I'm working on a game right now, like a simple little 2D side scroller, kind of like Revenge of Shinobi-esque Sega Genesis-like game. And I'm gonna make little animations and art, and I'm working on the next character. Like her friend is like this weird deer character.
Personally, I think that your fucking 2D pixel animations are goddamn beautiful.
It's like pretty silly how easy it was to take a 3D model and make it look like a Sega game. Like it didn't take a lot of work.
So that is just a 3D model then.
Yeah, it's just compressed down to 64 pixels, and then I do limited color palette.
That explains, because I was like, when the fuck did you learn how to animate pixels? Because this looks incredible, but like I literally fell for the meme.
Yeah, my idea was like, well, Donkey Kong Country did it, so I'm sure I could do it too.
Yeah. Donkey Kong looks like it's 3D though. Yours actually looks like a 2D. I guess just because it's not trying to be photorealistic.
I wouldn't say Donkey Kong's photorealistic.
Well, I mean, that's like what the aesthetic it's going for, you know?
I think it's more going for like the Pixar kind of like super shaded kind of thing. Because, I mean, Donkey Kong does not look like a gorilla. Alright, that's a grappling hook thing.
I feel like the textures are even more, like, detailed in that game than Pixar would go for, though.
Maybe. I think they're more exaggerated. Like the trees have like lots of extraneous cartoony detail that kind of like really pops in its style. Whereas Pixar is kind of much more subtle. I don't know. I haven't played a lot of Donkey Kong, so I could be talking out of my ass.
All I know is I hate the aesthetic of Donkey Kong.
I'm not a huge fan. Not a huge fan. I think Donkey Kong has, and to this day continues to look like an absolute retard. I don't like the design at all. We need a Donkey Kong-ette. That's what we need. We need to make him like a fucking hot anime girl.
I'm about that life.
I don't remember from here. I thought there was like... I know there's a thing.
Tom, your pitch for Izumi should be Strider x Sly Cooper.
I mean, that's pretty much what she is. Like, I had this incredible realization that it's just the persona for Strider. Like, the costume design is identical.
Yeah. I mean, it's also kind of identical to Shinobi in a way.
I mean, I've been saying from the beginning that, like, Shinobi was, like, the biggest fucking inspiration for me aesthetically and just, like, aesthetically in general for 3D. Like, I think Shinobi's, like, the best looking 3D ever. It's so fucking cool, even though it's, like, shit, but it's, like, good shit.
I mean, the Shinobi PS2 game, which is the game we were just hinting at the possibility of playing instead of Metroid Prime, is beautiful.
I fucking love that game so goddamn much, dude. But yeah. I mean, when I make a big 3D game, it's going to look just like that, but like with furries. That's pretty much what it is.
Sick tits.
Yeah. Alright, I need to look at the map. Every time I have to look at the map, I get angry because like it pulls me out of like what I like about Metroiding, which is not trying to figure out going and letting it happen naturally. Can't go there yet.
So how much Metroid have you played?
I've played Metroid Fusion, Metroid Zero Mission, Prime 1, Prime 2,
You about to tell me you haven't played Super Metroid?
I haven't played Super. I tried playing it on...
Oh, it's so much better than all the other games!
I tried playing it on PSP, and I was like, this game feels like ass, and I stopped playing
PSP?
it. Yeah. That was the only I don't have a Super Nintendo, so...
Alright, look. I'll tell you right now that
I tried playing it right after I played Zero Mission. I distinctly remember this.
Zero Mission has...
This doesn't play nearly as well as Zero Mission.
Zero Mission has slightly better controls because of the fact that they added... they just made it easier to, like, aim at an angle and switch between weapons and stuff. And, like... Yeah, Zero Mission's controls are overall the best in the franchise. And Fusion is similar. But... Super Metroid is so much vastly superior to all of the other Metroid games that it's not even a competition. And let me make this Let me make this perfectly clear. The first Metroid game I played was Fusion and Prime. They came out at the same time on the same day, and I got them both for Christmas. So, like, Prime as a kid was too hard for me, and I barely understood it. But then I watched my cousin play it, and Prime is the one I have the most like nostalgia for. Like, this is the one that like I think of my childhood. I think of Prime.
Because I think of Fusion, because I didn't have a GameCube back in the day.
Yeah, Fusion I also had around the same time, and I beat it at least twice when I was like pretty young. But Fusion's also only like 4 hours long, so like, you know, it doesn't stick. Like, there's moments that stick in your mind, but most of the game is.
I don't know, the fact like the SAX chasing you and shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Is there's moments that stick in your mind. Like, if you ask anybody about Fusion, all they talk about is SAX. Nobody mentions the fact that the game has like 25 fucking bosses and like.
The bosses are cool though. The gravity guy was fucking sick, and like his face slowly melts off as you fight him, and he turns into this like gravity destroyed like husk of a thing. It's fucking sick.
I can't even remember that.
He's like this big kind of like square looking dude with a face and his two big like arms that float in front of him, and you gotta keep shooting him and beat the crap out of him with all your beam weapons. And as you do it, his like robotic face slowly gets crushed under its own gravity power, starts melting and falling off. It's so cool, dude.
I feel like I remember that, but I don't. Anyway, so yeah, I grew up with Fusion, and then Zero Mission came out not too long after that, and I played that as a kid and again later as an adult. At some point, for whatever reason, like 5 years ago, I decided to play through all the Metroid games in order. So I did Zero Mission first, because like I tried to go back and play the original, and I was just like, I can't fucking do it.
I tried to. Very hard.
So I played Zero Mission, and I was like, this is lit. This game's fucking awesome. I played Metroid 2, and I was like, you know, as much of a fucking pain in the ass as this game is, I still like it a lot because the atmosphere is super unique and cool, and I just like feeling like I'm in a cave. Then I played Super Metroid, and I was like, what the fuck? This is the greatest game of all time!
Oh,
and then I played Metroid Fusion, and I couldn't make it through the whole game. Because it was so much worse than Super Metroid. And like, it was such a regression. Because Super Metroid is very handholdy, and it's more of like an action spectacle
You mean Metroid
game.
Fusion?
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said Super Metroid's very handholdy. I was
no.
like, I don't recall that from what little I played of it.
No, Fusion is very handholdy, and
I know where to go. You don't need to tell me.
It's very linear, and it's more like action-centric than the previous games. There's just like way more shooting enemies and way less getting lost and exploring.
Yeah.
And
it's kind of why I liked it so much.
The other thing about Super Metroid that like I didn't know much about it. Like, I had never really watched any videos of it or anything like that. I was just like, I heard it's good. Super Metroid's like way the fuck bigger than the other games. Like, it's like an 8.5 hour game compared to the like 4 hours that are the other ones. It feels like a substantial fucking journey in a way. I mean, and Prime does too. Prime is pretty fucking long, and I would argue that Prime is even better atmospherically than any of the 2D games because, I mean, it's a 3D game and it just has way more it can do with that. Like, my only problem with Prime is that the mechanics are pretty weird. Like, you get used to them and it's fun because you love the exploration because the world is so good and, like, the level design is good. But, like, you know, standard combat encounters are just, like, kind of whatever. And,
the game feel on the combat's not great.
Yeah, and there's just a lot of shit that's frustrating. And, like, Metroid games can all have moments of frustration when you get lost and you're wandering around, you're like, what the fuck do I do? But, like, Prime, like, just doing the basic levels can be really frustrating. Like, this part you're at right now is a frustrating part in Prime, you know? And, like, there's a lot of this kind of shit. And then the fact that, like, the save points are so infrequent and, like, you can lose so much progress at certain parts. It's fucking ludicrous. So, like I feel like Prime would be the best Metroid if, like, it was just altered in a few small ways.
I don't know if I died at playing Metroid Prime the first time. I'm trying to remember a time I
Really?
died.
How the fuck? Because I fucking died in the stupid fucking space pirate base like 3 times, and I just was like, this
I
is,
like went out of my way to
more
find energy
deaths
tanks, so
than-
that might have been why.
That
Like
could-
I
that could
always
be the
do that in
case.
these games, just because every energy tank feels like a huge increase in your life. So I
Yeah.
like going out of my way to find them, which I'm not doing this run through because I've already played this game. So who fucking cares?
Very possible that is why I fucked up. Maybe I just didn't have enough health. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I don't know, dude. I like Prime 1 a lot. Prime 2, not so much. Any game that has light world, dark world automatically gets docked in my book just because I hate the concept.
You're talking about Prime 2?
Yeah, Echoes is not fun.
I have often heard that game is like so like it's difficult to the point of being like it's too much.
All right, here I played a bunch of Prime 2. I'm actually probably about 80 to 85% done with the game. But you said you haven't played through Prime 1 at all, right?
I've never beaten it.
There's a point where you have to like go run around and do a bunch of like questy things near the end and like do these things for like
you have to get all the
like
artifacts.
Artifacts, yeah. They have something similar in the end of Prime 2, and that's where I stopped because you have to go back and scan all these corpses that you've already come across multiple times and have scanned before, but you have to scan them again to unlock a thing hidden in the dark world, go to the dark world, and then destroy it in there after fighting an encounter. And you have to do that like 15 times. And I'm just like, absolutely not, I refuse, and I just stop.
Someone was asking if we would ever consider playing like Telltale games or something. Like I think we're gonna probably avoid story-driven games for the live streams. Like, if we wanted to cover a story-driven game on the I Am Games channel, we probably would not live stream it because this is not a way to take in a game story.
No, I mean, we've missed so much just from time splitters that was necessary to finish those levels. I tried to figure out what I was doing, and half the things were like, oh, you need a phone's ringing, you need to go to it, and a bunch of shit like that. Like, I don't even think this game's playable.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can't really do anything story or even audio driven all that much, just because we're not paying attention.
Well, at least we actually have audio in this live stream.
Yeah, I don't know why it's working all of a sudden. I need to go like.
Though our video is fucking borked for whatever reason.
No, why? Oh, you fucker. We can go around the long way. I got all the way to the top, and then I realized I didn't scan the one down here, so I had to go all the way back down.
Rule of Rose. Isn't that weird game with like I think that's like a PS2 horror game where you play as like a pair of sisters or something. It's got some like real disturbing shit in it, if I'm thinking of the right game.
I think you might be thinking of Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly.
No, but I know it's similar, but it's not. I don't think it's like a survival horror game.
I just come back.
I could be wrong.
Son of a bitch.
Any thoughts on Telltale Games shutting down? Couldn't give less of a fuck, because I've never played one of their games, and I've never been interested in them, because they look like ass.
I played a little bit of The Walking Dead Season 1. I played Sam and Max on the Mac.
Why are you sitting so far up?
I'm in tryhard.
You cannot possibly be audible over there.
Fuck! I played a little bit of The Walking Dead Season 1. It was okay. I didn't get very far. And then I played a fair amount of one of Telltale's first games, Sam and Max. No, not Sam and Max. Bone Out from Boneville. Because I love Bone, and they're one of their first games was an adaptation of Bone, and I played it on my original eMac in 2004, and it was sick as fuck, just because it was Bone. But no, other than that, haven't played anything. Apparently, a bunch of shit's coming out that the company was terrible to work for, and they're all assholes. So.
Oh yeah, I mean they're in the shit.
Where?
But
Where? Is it right there? Is that it? Is that where we need to go?
Which one? What? Did you get the one on the ground floor?
I'm trying to get to it right now.
It's on like a platform that's just like a distant. Like you don't get there from above. You got to go down there.
The problem is that like I don't want to wade through more acid, but I feel like
look to the right.
I know where it is. I'm just trying to get there. It's like over there.
Yeah. You don't gotta wade through acid though. You just gotta fucking...
I miss my double jump. That's like something that sucks replaying this game is double jump is great and now you don't have it and now you just feel like a baby.
Oh. Yeah, I think you just gotta shoot those down and then scan and you'll be fine. Like the red shit. Just shoot it down and then...
Oh, you might be right. No. Oh, it has been activated. Thank God. Alright. I was mistaken.
I don't think that was the one you needed though.
Yeah, it was.
I think the cutscene would have played if you had them all.
I hope not.
Clunk, 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 and you would have seen the...
I thought maybe I had to scan the door afterwards. I don't know. Let's find out.
You might be right. You might have to scan the door.
I hope so, because I counted 4, but then again, I am an idiot. I don't know how to count.
Opinions on Medieval?
Ooh, I liked Medieval a lot when I played it as a little kid. Because my neighbor had it when I was like super young. I played a little bit of it on PS1. And it was pretty cool. But I've never played it like for real.
All I knew about it is that they advertised it on G4 when the PSP game came out a lot. And I thought it looked cool, but I never played it. He also asked thoughts on Beautiful Joe.
Love Beautiful Joe. One of my favorite games.
Beautiful Joe could potentially appear on IM Games at some point.
Yeah.
Because you have Beautiful Joe 2.
I do.
Yeah, you see, you only got 3.
Fucking. I almost said a bad word. Probably not the one you were thinking of either. Yeah, shit. I even played Beautiful Joe Double whatever on the DS, and that was a fun game too.
Opinions on Stretch Panic.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a weird ass treasure game where you grab people by their tits and make them explode.
That sounds like a 10 out of 10 to me.
Yeah. Rule of Rose is a horror game by Atlas about evil British shit kids. It's kind of a ripoff of Capcom's Haunting Ground because you're a defenseless young woman with a commandable doggo sidekick.
There was like some... I think I might have just found it. No, that's not it. That's a War Wasp Hive. I already scanned a War Wasp Hive. Why would you fuck with me like that?
Is that it? Yeah, you gotta shoot out the fucking red shit. Or is that the one you already got?
I thought that's the one I just did.
Yeah, that is the one you just did. It's already white. I don't fucking... Did you get one that's like higher up than the door?
Yeah. AIDS.
There's one that's like on one of these platforms, I think. Like a plaque on the side of the platform.
Maybe.
Possibly the one you're standing on. But I think I remember something like that.
Would be ironic.
That might be in a later room though. Because there's another room like this later in this.
Yeah, there's a lot of things like that. Fuck me.
Skygunner on PS2.
Okay, so there was a weird game that one of my friends' friends played on PS2, and I don't know what it was, but it was this weird game where you were like this little girl trapped in this house with like some creepy, deranged, like fucking mutant person, and if you died, he raped you and impregnated you.
Whoa!
That was the game over screen. You got caught, it would fade to black, and you would hear him raping you, and then you were impregnated.
Whoa!
And that was the lose state.
That's fucking nuts. I wonder if that is Rule of Rose. That would never fly today.
No, I just even at the time I was like, this is pretty fucked because
that sounds awesome. That takes real balls.
It was incredibly unnerving. Yeah. Damn it. I've always wondered what it was because like I mean I don't think searching for that would really.
Apparently, you're talking about Haunting Ground.
Oh, that is Haunting Grounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty fucking crazy and intense. Well, there you go. That was the guy.
Thank God.
Yeah. What were we talking about before?
Beautiful Joe, games for IM Games.
Even before that, there was a game we were discussing.
Super Metroid.
No, not that far back. We were talking about something that I still had more to say about, and then I forgot because I fucking tried to read this guy's.
You were talking about some horror game.
Before he said Medieval. Oh, Telltale. I was gonna
Are
talk.
those even games? Lamau. I'm going there.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to touch on the fact that, like, I've never played a game that was like cutscene and dialogue driven that I thought had like a great story, you know? Like, there are video games that I think have great stories. Like, an example might be Undertale. But, like, what makes the story of Undertale great is the mechanics of the game. Like, it's the fact that the story tells this, like, crazy-ass meta-narrative that has to do with the way games are played, and that's what makes it an interesting story. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that the dialogue and characters are anything, like, really all that unique or special. Like, you know, they're fine. It's good dialogue, and they are good characters, but, like, if not for the metatextual narrative, the game would not be memorable in any way to me, you know? And, like, I think that when I look at a game like The Last of Us that people, like, praise for its story, it's just, like, it is at best as good as, like, just some show, you know?
Yeah, it's not... It is
not
a
rich
decent
with, like,
video game story,
intrigue.
but that doesn't say much.
And, like, when I look at something like the Telltale games, it's like the way that the cutscenes and stuff are directed is just completely uninteresting. It's like
Taking a chip break.
it's just a bunch of character models standing around talking with, like, very limited range of expression, and, like, you know, there's no, like, cinematic acumen involved, and what gameplay there is feels like it's there as, like, a nominal, like, just so you can say it's a video game.
Telltale games are like if someone took Mass Effect's cutscenes and made a game out of it.
Yeah, which is pretty fucking sad. And, like, Mass Effect's story is interesting not because of dialogue or, like, cinematics. It's because of, like, just the insane richness of the universe and the fact that the game gives you enough freedom to explore that on your own terms, and, like, that feeling of you can just learn anything about this place by going and
Everything
looking at
has
stuff
a lot
and reading
of
stuff.
like just dimensionality to it.
Yeah.
And what?
It's the type of story that is best told through a game because, like, it's so well, as Mr. Beaton would put it, shandified. Like, you don't have to perform it in order.
Right.
You don't have to, like, there is a central structured plot which keeps you engaged in, like, you know, so that you feel a need to progress. But, like, you can take a break from that and just go explore this universe and learn all kinds of interesting facts about it that are probably even more interesting than the central narrative, you know?
I don't remember what I have to do.
You have to shoot the fucking... You have to get into a ball and go in through a tunnel.
Oh, right, yeah.
That one over there looks like it's open. No, they're not open. Well, you gotta shoot the things down to make the sun shine on them.
Right, I knew that.
Oh, you already got one.
Do I have
Or
to
no,
go
you have
in?
to make them not shine on him. That's right. You don't want him to have sunlight. Can you not stay logged onto that thing?
I guess not. Do we have to use, like, a missile? There you go. That was their way of subtly telegraphing that was not the right weapon to use to break my lock after
I'm pretty sure
shot.
I'm pretty sure you can in the original game just lock onto it and fire a bunch of bullets. Like, I don't know if that's intentional. Okay, we got some more. I'm not gonna. This Alton Williams 39 has just been asking thoughts on and then putting, like, every video game that he knows. So I'm not gonna read all of those.
I Am Games fucking quick version. It's like, who needs videos when you can just ask us on stream?
I want to see a game one day that has Kamiya Hiroshi voice the main character, with either Samamiku or Hanakana voice the main heroine, with Kaji or Yuki making the soundtrack. It will never happen, but I can dream. Aren't those guys all in a lot of video games? Like, I don't think that would be hard. Something that I've come to realize recently is that something that not enough people give credit to, including myself until recently, and I'm sure like people who are big into like voice actors will think this is obvious knowledge, but like voice actors all work for certain companies, and usually like the anime studio or like a production committee will be working with the company. So like the same actors will appear on the same shows together. So like Kamiya Hiroshi, Sawashiro Miyuki, and Hanazawa Kana, who are the three this guy just named, they're like always in shows together because they all three work for the same company. So like, you know, if someone hires on that company, they're gonna have all those actors available to them. Like, granted, not every show can have every actor, but like any show that goes all out on its voice acting budget is gonna have all of those guys because they're all insanely popular and they all work for the same group. I mean, I don't know, I haven't actually fact checked that, but like it is startling how often like that same group of actors is in every fucking show together, you know? And if you're watching a show that has none of them in it, you know, like, or rather I should say, you will not often watch a show that has like one of them and none of the others, you know. But yeah, like I've been noticing that like crazy lately, just because every time I watch a show, I'm like, oh hey, Keiji Fujiwara and Hanakana and Sawashiro Miyuki are all in this show, and hey, it's Hiroshi Kamiya. The gang's all here, you know. And Tomokazu Seki, who we were just talking about, the voice of Domon Kashu, often in those shows as well. And what's his fuck? My favorite guy, the guy who plays Link in Ocarina of Time, is always how I Nobuyuki Hiyama.
Shigeru Miyamoto.
No,
That guy.
that guy's a guy. But yeah, so like I feel like a game with those three actors would be the easiest thing to orchestrate in the world. Now, Yuki Kajiura has not done many video game soundtracks, so that might be harder to nail, but
He's mad. He's mad at me. Ooh, I hit him in the face by accident. I don't remember this guy being as much of a cunt as he is this time. Is that another thing I can't say on Twitch?
do what now?
Can I say cunt on Twitch?
I hope so.
God damn it. I don't like how he knocks them back up.
Apparently the camera's frozen. Big surprise.
We need a new camera, dude. Energy... Oh god, I'm almost dead. And I'm out of missiles. Wow. Shit. I didn't realize I was getting fucking railed so bad. I guess what happens when you play games and not pay attention. I don't think I can beat this guy. Oh, you can push them up with beams. It's just a lot harder. I wouldn't have wasted all of the missiles if I had known that. Alright, I'm definitely gonna die this time, though. I have 17 HP left. I haven't saved in forever, so I'm gonna do the Digibro thing of losing all this progress.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Is there no way to gain, well, you get health when you fuck him up.
No, you don't. I've gotten no health this entire time.
There you have. I saw some health that you got. Of course, it was like a while ago.
I mean, let me know, but I ain't seen any.
No, I mean when you knock up all the things.
Oh.
Like when you finish the thing, there's like a little thing that happens.
Oh boy.
Alright, you got it. You got this.
Well, the problem is he keeps knocking up the one I put down before, so he's just gonna knock that one up over there, so I just have to keep going. Oh no, did he actually get fucked?
Yeah, go fucking get in that hole, dude. Get in that fucking hole.
Go, 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 go.
Hell yeah, you fucked him. You got in that fucking hole and you fucked him.
I think there's one more.
Nah, dude, he's dead. That's why it made the bloop, bloop, bloop.
Are you sure?
Oh, god damn it. Well, I didn't realize he shrank every single time.
Yeah.
There should be health. Yeah, there you go. Right.
Oh God, no, please.
I told you.
My control, the motion controls decided that second to fuck up for the first time this entire game.
See, the way you're meant to do this is you keep your lock onto him and you keep strafing to the side because that makes you run way faster.
Yeah.
And then you're naturally lined up to shoot the things as you get to them. And also he keeps tracing you because you're moving so fast that he, doesn't have time to look at his shit.
I actually forgot you could strafe. That's alright.
I realized I could have said that a while ago, but I was not paying attention to what was happening in the game.
Sorry, that wasn't either.
I believe that. Bro, you gotta get in there. Get in there. I want you back.
You're
Get
done.
in there. I think this is it.
I believe it's the last one. Yeah.
Hey! Fuck you, Flagra.
Yeah, fucking cunt. Said it again.
I said it twice.
Alright, we got him. Got him good. Yeah. Yeah, he had lemons. What if I died trying to get back to a safe point?
Digibro, the cutest game you ever play.
The what game you ever played?
The cutest.
Oh, shit.
I'm not sure. Probably Kirby's Epic Yarn.
That's a good choice.
The game's fucking adorable. If you guys do videos on the Drakengard / Nier universe, you would have videos for months. Well, I do own all 3 Drakengards and both Niers, so that's not impossible.
The problem is we'd also have no life for months.
I mean, apparently Drakengard 1 is only like 17 hours long, but I don't know if that's including all the endings. I don't know. I'd consider it. I'm interested.
I don't know much about that series.
It's fucking strange, man. It's a series of action RPGs with just very bizarre stories and mechanics. Like, the main thing about them is that they tend to change gears a lot. That, like, you'll be playing and, like, the entire play style of the game just radically changes at a pretty regular intervals. And they're just kind of experimental weird games by a weird guy who exclusively shows up wearing a fucking full head mask. You've seen Yoko Taro, right?
I have seen Yoko Taro, yeah. He's a pretty
Eccentric.
crazy character. I like guys like that. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, his games feel like games that would be made by a guy who dresses like that.
I like how they put a full health restoring item right there. Because they knew. They knew I was not playing. Oh, we're at this part now.
Apparently Drakengard 2 was not made by Yoko Taro, according to these guys. That's interesting. Did not know that.
I don't think I can destroy this guy yet, actually.
I've got them all, though.
Alright. I'll just fall all the way down here. And this is clearly where it wants me to go, so. Oh. Click on this thing. What time is it? How long is it going for?
It is 9:08.
For like 2 hours?
I don't think it's actually been that long.
Maybe a little less.
I have to go to the fucking Twitch background. I mean, the thing over there says 54 minutes, but
We stopped a couple times.
we stopped.
I believe
at
there's a
30
save
minutes
point
in.
over here. I think. Maybe. I could be wrong. Oh god, what is going on? Why is sometimes this game just decide to just be a fuck? I don't remember it being this egregious, but here we are. Doing something. I literally don't know what's going on. Okay.
Do you want to know what I really want to do?
That's why. You're supposed to be a morph ball.
What I would really like to do is to stop playing this game.
Yep.
Get OBS hooked up on that computer.
Okay.
And then stream Shinobi.
Okay. You want to see how the people react to that?
Yeah, because
A/B
this
test?
game has consistently looked like fuck the whole time we've been playing it.
Oh, so you want to try something different?
So not only do I think that all the footage from this is completely unusable, so if we did want to make a video on it, we couldn't use this footage.
Well, I mean, getting
Not that
footage
there's
for
not-
this is gonna not.
Yeah, it wouldn't be difficult to get footage from Prime. But additionally, I mean, we're not going to get... We have 48 viewers. We could be doing way better at 9 p.m. on fucking, you know, like... Obviously, a lot of people are not going to want to sit through the fucking laggy ass
Yeah,
video.
the quality's not helping. Let me just get to a save point and we can fucking
And
dip.
also, I just think Shinobi would be way more fucking fun to play on this show. Because this game is kind of like... Aside from the fact that these early levels are kind of white noise to me, which I'm glad we're, you know, basically done with the first, you know, thing.
Alright.
So that next time we play, we will not have to do this part.
Well, luckily, the save is, I believe,
There should be a save in this
right in
room.
here.
But in addition to all those things I just said, just the game is it's a little more heady, and I think I've been drinking all day, and this game has killed my buzz completely. So I want to get my buzz going.
You want to get drunk and play Shinobi?
Yeah.
And by you, I mean me.
Like, I mean, the reason our thought process was, if you drink, Shinobi will be too hard, and this game will not be. But realistically speaking, this game is a migraine-inducing fucking stress ball, and it's just sobering.
Alright, well. Oh, you fuck. I need power bombs or something, too.
Womp womp. Well, the save room's right up there.
It is.
Also, I don't know what happened to Mark.
I don't know. Mark decided to crash, I guess. But, yeah. Honestly, before we quit on this game, though, like, fucking... The fucking fourth dimensional chess these guys must have played to put this world together...
Oh,
so
yeah.
Interconnected, like that's some new type level shit.
I really think this game has some of the best level design ever. And some of the best art design ever. It's just and like the mechanics are good. I just think like it needed to be balanced a little better and it would have been perfect. You know?
I don't have a problem with it too much. They're just some fucky things, but what video game doesn't have fucky things?
Alright, so we're probably going to go down for like 20-30 minutes while we set up OBS and fucking... Because this Game Capture HD shit is garbaggio.
Yeah. We're going to get... Should we get Streamlabs OBS or Slobs, as I call it?
Streamlabs is like vastly better than vanilla OBS. So we're going to set that up, which we should have done a long time ago anyways, because then eventually we could actually customize it and add in all the Twitch bullshit.
Yeah.
And then we'll play fucking Shinobi on the PS2, which is the dankest shit I've ever seen in my life. And I've never played it. All I've seen of it is like the 10 minutes I watched Tom play the other day. And it was the closest I got to a fucking